Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking a bit about my own, um, I guess, experiences with mental health and dealing with some jealousy that comes from people who live more. I don't want to use the word normal because there is no normal, but more like typical lives without any trauma or dis- dissociation or even mental health issues. Like, to me, the idea of a person with without any trauma, dissociation, without any mental health issues or struggles, like that kind of thing really, I, I guess amazes me in a way that there's people out there that don't live day by day in pain, or if they are in pain, they have a good support system and supportive family. Like the whole concept of that is very wild to me, and I know that I experienced some jealousy from that kind of situation, and I just think it's something to think about. I guess about how I guess normal it is to have these jealousies and these feelings, because it seems so like no one really talks about it. Like, if I hear someone describe like how much they love their family, or how good they are, or how they bond together and have fun and do vacations and just like have like a really good time together, and there's no like issues like that, that kind of thing just really has me jealous, and that's something that a lot of other people with trauma experience. Um, I know I look at people that like I get really upset. Like, it's unreasonable, but I get upset when I see families, especially like fathers, being good to to their to their children, like playing with them, or telling them they love them or taking care of them. Like, the whole concept to me is very very strange, and I'm not very familiar with that kind of thing. And um, seeing it makes me upset. But like, that's so unreasonable because I should be happy that these kids grow up with such good circumstances, or maybe not perfect circumstances, but they still have someone there. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me. Like, I get super jealous of that kind of thing, and I feel guilty that I do feel jealous. And I just want to talk about it because I try to keep this channel super real and super, yeah, super real. And I just want to talk about how that affects me, um, and probably other trauma survivors. I encourage people to comment down below a bit about their experiences with any of that, but I get really upset when I see like happy, happy children, happy families with like, I guess, such a nuclear life. Um, like the whole picket fence and everything. Like, that whole thing sounds so incredible, and it doesn't feel real. Like, there's no way. Like, it. Maybe this is just a bit of my disconnect, but like the fact that families exist like that I find that to be a shocking revelation. Um, and I've known for a long time. I remember once too, um, in elementary school, like even before I considered I knew that I had issues. Even before I considered anything like that, I always thought that uh I've even said like I remember being like my family doesn't like I think someone asked me what was wrong or something or like why do I think I used to say I remember this. I used to say that my life was so hard. And it's funny because I was still I guess more resilient a bit, but I remember saying that um and kids being like why do you think your life's so hard? Like what do you mean? And I explained that like I don't that my family is weird and messed up and that my father doesn't love me and um how someone that one of the family members I stayed the night with moved away and how I felt abandoned by that and all that and it's just really wild to think back on that now like and then the fact that people go home and they have you know families who care or people actually sit down at the dinner table and eat together like that's such a wild concept. I heard that we used to all eat together but that changed somewhere along the ways. I don't know where, but even then, like it didn't, it probably didn't feel like we were eating together. If that makes any sense, I don't know if it does or not. Um, and there's just like a lot of, I guess, pain and jealousy surrounding that. Like that there's people with normal families. Like I've already said this. I'm kind of like in a loop of this, but there's people that don't feel like their lives have been hindered and stolen from them. Like, there's people out there that's not broken from CSA or um, abuse or neglect or any other kind of trauma. Like, they just live and they they're somewhat happy. You know, because no one's perfectly happy. I think that's what people misunderstand when I say happy people, because they're always like, "Oh no, we all have our struggles." And it's like that's not what I mean. Like you you have your ups and downs, but it's never just entirely downs or entirely ups. Like that's usually what I mean, or not entirely ups. You know what I'm trying to say. It's not just entirely just you know a path to failure or setting up for failure. Like I I don't understand the concept of that. And I kind of just started to record because, you know, I kind of want to get this off my chest. I've been tweeting a bit about it, but um, I wanted to just kind of say it out loud. And there's like people out there that they don't have their memories in pieces, or they don't have such a third person perspective on everything. And I'm not even exaggerating by that when I say everything. Like, they don't live like that. Like what, what do you mean? I don't get it, and it's just I feel like I've been set up to fail, and I always feel like I don't know if I'll ever heal. I don't think I ever will. Um, and it it's really it makes me feel really hopeless. Um, I'm definitely gonna put a trigger warning in the title of this video. Um, but I also, I guess I also just want to say, I don't know what else. I can't keep a train of thoughts together properly. You guys all know that about me, that I'm not a good talker in any sense. Um, there's people out there that don't. It's just mind-boggling to me that there's, like I said, that these people exist. Like they actually exist, and they're not just a dream that I always wished I had from a very young age. Um, there are people with, I guess, nuclear lives, with not so much trauma or whatever. Like there's people actually happy and functioning, and they can they can get out of bed and function, and I'm just over here like, who's she? Like, who? What is any of that? Like this, that can't exist, you know. Um, and it's like I kind of go about my day, with all that pain, and these people they have such, like, I don't know if trivial is the right word, but they they're not set up to fail, and they actually get to live their lives. They don't get a dissociated mess version of their lives. They actually get to they actually get to live, like, that. They they get to remember going to something fun, or they they have their lives together. Um, they they're not in a mess of dissociation, amnesia, and sorrow. And I know, like, it's important to, remember I can still live a life. I can still live a life despite trauma. It's just, to me, it doesn't really feel that way. Um, like, there's people out there that don't have flashbacks all the time, or all of this, and it just I don't know. I get nothing out of being jealous of people. It just still hurts so much that I missed out on so much. And even if I did remember, I'm still missing out on so much. I don't have a family, I guess you could say. I don't have one. And I've always wanted to be loved and taken care of. And I remember as a child, I used to think I was, you know, I used to feel better about myself, but I don't feel that way. Um, I, yes, um, I'm not very okay and I've never been okay. I just I want to. I've just always wished I had a life like that, where things were happy or whatsoever. Um, and I don't know what else there is much to say. Um, or this too. This is added on to this, I guess, where it's like family that is not super homophobic and they have supportive parents that are supportive of LGBT. Like that's a thing that exists. Like parents that aren't fucking bigots. Like that's a thing. Like that's another form of jealousy that I have. Um, cause I'm bi and NMB. Um, but I've always felt like I've never been able to live safely, and people take so much for granted. Um, it kind of makes me upset in a way. Um, like I feel like people without trauma don't exist. Like people don't. There's happy people out there. It seems like a foreign concept because I don't know anyone who hasn't lived like that, I guess you could say. Um, which that's weird, I know, but that's still a reality, I guess. Um, I really need to. Oh, there's my little hole. Um, I just don't feel very satisfied with my life. But like I just always hear such great things about some families or accepting people or people that support or you know people who can have healthy relations, I guess you could say, with with sexuality and all that stuff, and they're not scarred. Um, there's really people out there. I know I've been just repeating myself for like the past whatever, but it's the truth. Um, this is kind of an event, I guess. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. We keep it real here.